Dan, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty knackered after a day. All right, it's been
long
a
day.
long day, long day. But we're taking them to Winton next week. What would you say? Winton a good area for stories? Good area, newsy area? What would you say about it?
It is, yeah. It's quite a vibrant community. I lived there for 2 years.
Did you really?
I did, yeah. When I was here.
Okay, can you tell us what road you lived in?
Osborne Road. So if you
Okay,
the house
did you
down
have
there,
wild parties?
yeah.
Okay.
But well, it's more the house than me. I was just there,
Okay.
existing in it. But,
Okay, but
yeah.
another little thing we've got to be careful of, we've done the risk assessment. Is Winton a sort of place where there can be a few odd characters, if I can put that?
Yeah. You'll find it's a very varied community, which means there's all sorts of people there, to be honest. There's some amazing people, you get some amazing stories, and like anywhere, people to steer clear from. That's just sort of how you would approach most communities. But Winton's a great place for stories. It is vibrant. You'll find a lot of students in second and third year live there as well. So potential easier sort of.
Did you ever have any
things?
Sort of like walking around? Did you ever go and spot any stories when you lived there? Did you ever think anything was? Because I've got loads of stories there. But what about yourself? Anything? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I was more geared up for sport stuff.
Okay.
When I was, and a lot of local clubs are based in Winton.
Because what we've gone and done today, we've gone and taken them out and we've gone and shown them the stories around here. There's a few little drop-off points in Winton, which I'm sure you know. There's some quality sort of stories floating around.
Yeah.
And I'll just go and jump in and just go and have a little look just on one little thing. This is an aside. The other day, Maisie went and did this story. I'm probably blocking up with a camera here for the Vox Pop, and what it is just they did this an interview with a bloke about Vox Pop, and it's probably going to be backwards on your screen, unfortunately. But this bloke was a drugs runner. And also, they're just talking to a random bloke in a Vox Pop, and they get a bloke who's an asylum seeker from Iran. Now, I would go and say this. That's just in a Vox Pop. The guys here are just turning up real quality material.
Yeah, really impressive.
I mean, that's Maisie and Maisie. They go out to talk about a Vox Pop, and they've got a bloke, he's called himself K1, from Iran, who's an asylum seeker. I actually think he's such a good story. I wouldn't even put him in a Vox Pop. Now, my take is that we don't know what we're going to find in Winton. We might come back with nothing. And I don't know if you agree that one of the problems is when news, because we're dealing with live news, if we come back with nothing, that's oddly quite a useful thing, a lesson.
Yeah.
Because going out in the real world, we're not dealing with simulations.
We don't have a divine right to find stories everywhere we walk. Ideally, they present themselves to you.
Yeah.
But you'll find, or if you speak to journalists who have been working in the industry for years, it doesn't work that way. So yeah, we might go out and really struggle to find stuff. But it's perseverance. That's what we said earlier about looking down side streets and popping in and being curious about shops and people. It makes life easier to find stories, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee you will find them. Okay,
in a non-Apple related way, do you have a favourite story today that someone came up with in the story hunt?
Yeah, I think from my group about the safeguarding sort of our students safe with the person out the front of the university by the bus hub. I was really impressed with that. I did not expect students to find that in week 2. And the way, it wasn't just finding that story and stumbling across it, because it's sensitive. You could have easily just gone, oh, that's not very nice, we're going to go and find something else. But, you know, the fact that they spoke to the person involved, a friend, got like a video, a picture of the scene, you know, the incident, is really, really impressive. And it goes to show, you know, that a lot of you are, if not all of you, are ticking the boxes that we're kind of setting out for you. So it's really, really impressive.
Yeah, for me, I would agree, ridiculously strong story. What I'm pleased about is that it is about confidence building.
Yeah.
So we started out trying to find the story in a room, and they kind of like, some of those stories in a room were pretty kind of like, you know, the 400 times worse than the toilet seat, your keyboard.
Yeah, that was not a nice one.
That's a quality one. All of them are really sort of like, and even like the one about, I like the one about the bloke who was fixing the projector. It's fantastic stuff. So we've got, if you can get a story in a room, goodness knows what we can do when you go out on campus like they did that.
Yeah.
But when we go to Winton, and if they don't switch off, and if they are using their antennae all the time, I think they're going to get quality stories. So we got a problem here in the sense of a quality problem. They come up with good story ideas.
Yeah.
The bit we got to work on is making sure that they write them up good. Any little pet hates you've got about, or is it? Is there one little thing? If you could eliminate one thing that they go and do that annoys you when you're looking at copy, is there anything that you would get rid of?
I think it's a case of walk before you can run. I think so. In terms of how you structure a story, keep it simple. In terms of how you write your story, in terms of the words you use, keep it simple. Don't try and get ahead of yourselves and think, you know what, it's time to get a bit complicated. You'll find the best news stories from every newspaper and every publication are just snappy and simple. So make sure you keep it that way. Yeah.
Now we're going to be sensible on this. I'm going to do the risk assessment. We've got to be careful with people. We're going to cross roads properly. We're going to do all the sensible stuff like that. But on top of that, I think one of the things we're going to do, meet up here, we'll have the briefing, then we'll go to Winton, and then we'll come back and we'll see what people have got.
Yeah.
And I just think if they can do what they've gone and done this week, it's just going to be astonishing.
It'll be, put it this way, if you can find amazing stories in this, relatively big room, but with a small amount of people, and then extend that across campus and find some even better stories, imagine what you'll find heading out into, like a local town.
Yeah, because what we're doing, we started out in this newsroom with 27 people. We then went to the university with 22,000 people. And now we're going outside the university campus where there's 8 billion people, right? So we've got a big resource out there, an underused resource on this course, 8 billion people.
It's a lot of people.
All right, we're good. Take care. All right, see you around. We're done.